Archie Bunker doesn't believe in fate, at least not the kind printed in a magazine. He believes in common sense, toughness, and the idea that a man controls his own life as long as he keeps his feet planted and his opinions louder than everyone else's. So when Edith sits down with a simple life expectancy quiz, one of those light, cheerful questionnaires meant to entertain more than predict, Archie reacts the way he always does when something threatens his sense of control. He mocks it. He calls it nonsense. He laughs at the premise. He tries to crush it with sarcasm before it can get any oxygen in the room. But the twist is that Archie can't stop listening. Edith reads the questions aloud, and each one quietly sneaks past Archie's defenses. How often do you exercise? Do you smoke? How's your diet? Do you get angry a lot? Do you carry stress? Archie pretends the questions are ridiculous, but he also answers them with the seriousness of a man who suddenly realizes he might be sitting in front of his own report card. Edith treats it like a game, but Archie treats it like a verdict. Gloria, watching from the side, can see exactly what's happening. Her father is terrified, but he's too proud to admit it, so he turns fear into argument. And the more Archie argues, the more the quiz tightens around him. It's not magic. It's psychology. A questionnaire has no power unless you hand it power. Archie hands it power because deep down he knows that the questions aren't random. They're pointing at habits he has defended for years. He likes his food heavy and comforting. He likes sitting more than moving. He likes his cigarettes and his routines. He likes his anger because it makes him feel strong. Suddenly, a silly quiz is holding up a mirror, and Archie hates mirrors when they show something he can't insult away. When Edith totals the score, Archie expects to feel vindicated. He expects a number that proves he's built like a tank. Instead, the result suggests he has fewer years than he assumed. The room changes instantly. Archie's face tightens. His voice gets sharper. He starts acting as if the quiz has personally attacked him. Edith tries to calm him, reminding him it's only a magazine and nobody can predict anything. Gloria tries to lighten the mood, teasing him, but her teasing is exactly what Archie can't tolerate right now. Because this isn't about humor anymore. This is about Archie's biggest fear, that the world might not need his permission to take something away from him. Archie's panic doesn't look like quiet worry. It looks like anger. He paces. He complains about experts. He insults the quiz. He insults Edith for even bringing it up. He starts talking about dying not as a natural end, but as an unfair scheme. Archie behaves like the concept of time has conspired against him. And because Archie is Archie, his mind doesn't drift toward tender reflections or regrets. It drifts toward bargaining and blame. He tries to find someone to argue with, because arguing makes him feel like he's still in charge. Gloria watches this spiral and makes a decision that reveals something soft beneath her irritation. She's annoyed by Archie constantly, but she doesn't want him genuinely scared. She doesn't want Edith dealing with a husband who's now emotionally unstable because of a magazine page. And she doesn't want the household turning into a funeral rehearsal. So Gloria does what she's always been good at. She manipulates the situation to protect the people inside it. She rechecks the quiz, rereads the scoring, discovers a mistake, and produces a new number, one that gives Archie more years. The moment Archie hears the revised result, he transforms like a balloon that's been refilled. He celebrates. He smiles. He becomes louder, hungrier, and more energetic. He wants food, a sandwich, a victory meal. It's almost absurd how quickly the fear evaporates, because nothing real has changed. The same body, the same habits, the same life. Only the number is different. And that's the joke with a sting in it. Archie isn't living by health. He's living by reassurance. He doesn't need discipline. He needs permission to believe he's safe. Edith and Gloria share a look that says everything. They know they just did something dishonest, but they also know they restored peace. The comedy is that Archie's pride makes him easy to calm, because pride is satisfied by comfort more than truth. The tenderness is that they did it because they care, not because they wanted to fool him for fun. Archie may not say thank you for emotional protection, but in his own way, he accepts it by returning to normal, by acting like himself again. Then the story shifts into a different emotional battleground: family obligation. Edith is going to Scranton for a wedding. It's a family event, the kind of occasion that is supposed to feel supportive, connected, and joyful. Edith wants Archie to come with her because in her mind, a husband and wife show up together. Archie refuses with the confidence of a man who believes refusing is his right. He complains about travel, about weddings, about relatives, about sitting in uncomfortable clothes around people he doesn't like. He treats the entire thing like a punishment designed to ruin his weekend. Gloria can't tolerate it. She sees Edith's disappointment and feels protective. She argues with Archie, pushing him to understand that this isn't about him being bored for a few hours. It's about Edith being left to face relatives alone. Archie dismisses her. He declares the discussion over. He acts like Edith's feelings are optional. Edith goes anyway. She tries to keep her spirits up because that's how Edith survives. She smiles, she stays polite, she helps. She arrives in Scranton surrounded by relatives who speak in that familiar language of family memory. Old stories, childhood recollections, the kind of conversation that can be comforting and suffocating at the same time. Edith is welcomed, asked questions, offered food, pulled into wedding preparations. And then, inevitably, people ask, "Where's Archie?" Edith answers carefully. She doesn't want to embarrass him. She doesn't want to complain. She tries to make it sound like a practical choice, like he couldn't make it. But her softness makes the absence louder. Everyone can hear what she's not saying. Edith might protect Archie in public, but she can't fully protect him from judgment. Archie's refusal travels with her like luggage. The wedding atmosphere itself is chaotic in the way weddings often are: nerves, excitement, last-minute panic. The bride is stressed. Family members argue about small details. Edith becomes her usual self, helpful, steady, trying to soothe. But behind her smile is a quiet sadness because she knows what it means when your husband won't show up. It means the world sees you as alone, even when you're married. Back home, Archie tries to enjoy being free of obligation, but the guilt creeps in. Not guilt in a noble, apologetic way. Guilt in a defensive, irritated way. He doesn't say, "I miss Edith." He says, "This is stupid." He complains about the phone calls. He complains about the relatives. He complains about everyone making him feel like the villain. But the complaining is proof that it's working. Archie hates being judged. He hates the idea that someone is telling a story about him where he's the bad guy. And this time, he can't shut that story down because he's not there to control the room. At the same time, Gloria and Mike are trying to do something Archie claims to want: move out. They're hunting for a place they can afford, a place that gives them independence. But independence isn't cheap, and their search is full of compromises: too small, too expensive, too far. When they discover a rental that sounds unusually affordable, Archie's eyes light up. He doesn't just support the idea, he charges at it like it's a mission. He pushes them to take it immediately, insisting it's a bargain they can't miss. Mike wants to be cautious, suspicious of deals that sound too good. Gloria is excited but nervous. Archie steamrolls them with his usual force because he sees a personal benefit. If they leave, he gets his space back. And then the universe plays its perfect joke. The bargain is the Jeffersons' former home, the very environment loaded with neighborhood history and rivalry. Archie, thinking he's pushing Gloria and Mike out into the world, has instead pushed them into a living situation that keeps all the old tension within arm's reach. It's funny because it's fitting. Archie tries to control outcomes, but the outcomes always find a way to mock him. These storylines tie together through a shared theme: Archie's need for control and his fear of vulnerability. The quiz threatens his control over time. The wedding trip threatens his control over how people see him. The move threatens his control over his household. And in each case, Archie reacts the same way. He argues, he denies, he blames, he pushes. Yet what keeps the family intact isn't Archie's strength. It's the quiet resilience of everyone else. Edith's loyalty, Gloria's willingness to protect even when she's furious, Mike's push for logic even when it irritates. They keep buffering Archie from consequences he doesn't know how to handle. And that's the comedic truth that sits under the noise. Archie isn't a fortress. He's a man who survives because the people around him keep rebuilding the walls every time his fear cracks them.